The first and most important thing you need to do when starting making a video game is have a vision, a very, very clear vision of what your game is about. Which means not just, oh well, let's do this, there's this cool idea about cars and this cool idea about guns and this cool idea about being on a beach in Miami. No, that's just a collection of ideas. You have to have a single clear goal. Once you've got your single vision, you then roll that out to the designers and go, okay, this is what the game's about. What sort of game features would that then involve? Once the design has been laid out, the engineers and the artists then read that game design document. The artists start to visualize what the game could look like, and the engineers start working out how they're going to deliver those game design features actually through their engineering and their code into the hands of the player. Then you go into pre-production, and what you do in pre-production is you build a sample level that has all the gameplay in it. One level with everything in it the player's going to do, and that's where you test it, that's where you find out is the combat going to work, are the animations looking cool, is the way the camera works, is it ideal for the player, and also show off the environment. And once you've got all that perfect, you then go into full production, and that's where you build all the rest of the levels. The final phase is QA. And in the QA phase, you fix all the bugs, and you also tune the gameplay and polish it as much as you can, given the time you've been allowed, before the game goes off to the format holder, Nintendo, Sony or Microsoft, who will approve it, ship it, and send it out to the stores. There are three kinds of people who make video games: artists, computer programmers, and games designers. The artists that we have in video games are genuine artists. They're people who can paint, they can sculpt, they can freehand draw. But crucially, they can also use 3D packages on computers to create the artwork that you see in the game. Artists are the same the world over. They're creative people, they're kind of flaky on deadlines, but at the same time they are very, very passionate about what they do. You need to understand that, being a producer, that you kind of have to give them some boundaries and some targets to hit, but allow them to be creative within that. In complete contrast to artists, dealing with engineers, these guys are very, very methodical. Things are either right or they're wrong. There is no grey area in between. Equally passionate, you still need to be able to speak to them in terms that allows them to get their job done. Games designers kind of sit in the middle. Some of them are technically strong, some of them have fantastic ideas for games, and again, it's often organising designers is rather like herding cats at the crossroads. You know, they all want to rush off in different directions and do multiple cool things. What you have to do is allow them to be creative, but at the same time, keep them focused on the goal. The producer is the guy who ensures that all these guys are talking to each other. So you're very much the linchpin, the communicator. Not just within the team, however. You also need to communicate to marketing, you need to communicate to sales, you need to do interviews such as these to allow the rest of the world to know what your game is all about. A game can take anything from 12 to 24 months to create. These are huge projects, not unlike movies in many, many cases. And you're the guy pulling all this together, giving the guys their goals and following it through to ensure the game gets delivered on time.
Original content every day. Channel B. Join us.